Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now just when I thought that it couldn't get any worse, that the collaboration between the criminal underworld and the court system couldn't get any worse, it has. I want you guys to listen to this particular case because this is so outrageous and I have not seen the outrage amongst the general population, even though this matter has been brought to the attention as is in the news. The point is, a krazmite judge in St. Elizabeth has given not even a tap on the wrist to a krazmite. And listen, when you hear the case, tell me what you think about this particular case. There's a 26-year-old man called Tevani Thompson, and he stole 8 goats. 8 goats he stole and allegedly sold them to a man, to some other people. Now, when those people bought the goats and were transporting them back to where they needed them to go, they were stopped by the police. And when they were stopped by the police wanted to know what they were doing with those goats in their vehicle. So they told the police that they got the goats from this man, Tevani Thompson. And they had all of Tevani Thompson's details and they gave it to the police, and the police went and hold on to him. He was arrested and the case went to court. When the case went to court, Tevani Thompson pleaded guilty. The judge put off sentencing to get a social inquiry report in order to see what sort of sentence he could give. By the way, it wasn't a he, it was a she. A judge called herself Justice Diane Lawrence Pivot. When the social inquiry report came back, it all suggested that he was an individual of ill repute. The community report revealed that he is suspected of being involved in other similar incidents of praedial larceny, and it stated that a lot of his friends are gunmen. He has been convicted on 2 previous occasions for other crimes and was currently on bail for a wounding charge. Now, think of all that for a moment. This suggests that this person is an incorrigible rogue, that him no have no comeback to come back. This is totally irredeemable. But, and bear in mind now that the maximum sentence for praedial larceny is 7 years. Now, the judge, after hearing that this is a total come off the earth, guess what sort of sentence he got? The judge gave him a 9-month sentence. 9-month sentence. Suspended for 18 months with a 12-month supervision order. That is for stealing 8 goats valued at somewhere between $500,000 and $800,000 depending on their size. In a perfect world, or if we had real judges, this man would have got the full 7 years. Because there is nothing redeemable. This is somebody that you have to keep out of the public's way for as long as you possibly can. As a matter of fact, he deserves a visit at 2 a.m. even if we're not sure say him dirt anybody yet. 9 months suspended. That means that the man did all this. Take nearly $1 million worth of livestock and just walk away scot-free? Come guys, what is wrong with that picture? This judge is either crooked, delusional, senile, or otherwise mentally incompetent. There is no way a judge who is in touch with the realities of what is going on in this country and have that social inquiry report put down in front of her, can look and think that this man should be free to walk the streets after what he did and after what we can presume he has been doing from him born until now. Also, in the social inquiry report, it said that he had a 1-year-old child to take care of. Now, that is the more reason why I would give him the full 7 years. You know why? This man, I wouldn't even call it a man, but this creature should be kept as far away from that child as possible. Because he can be nothing positive in that child's life. As a matter of fact, in a perfect world, he would have been sterilized from him reach 14 to prevent him from ever procreating. Because he can only create something like himself. This case is considered so outrageous because, as we know, the protocol in government is that the government ministers do not make any pronouncement on decisions of judges. But this case was so outrageous that the agriculture minister, Floyd Green, had to come out, and this is what he said.
This person should be in jail, and that is the sort of signal that we should be sending, that this is a more serious crime. You know, it is the biggest threat to our livestock sector, especially our small ruminant sector, our goat farmers, that we've been trying to raise the amount of goats that we are producing. But a lot of people tell you that they're unwilling to get involved, largely because criminals go into their properties and steal from them. You know, so the reality is that we have to, one, strengthen our systems to apprehend these criminals and to ensure that once they're apprehended, they get the full brunt of the law. Now, having pled guilty for a crime that carries a maximum of 7 years in prison, one would have expected at minimum that the perpetrator would have spent some time behind bars.
Now, when you see a government minister can be so aggrieved and so hurt by a decision taken by a judge to do that, because he went on and said this.
It's something that we've done before in fisheries, going through some of the acts, working with members of the judiciary, impressing upon them, you know, some of the realities on the ground. And clearly, the judiciary is independent, and one never tries to step on the independence of the judiciary. But ultimately, we still have to work together. We're going to be doing some additional work in relation to some of our other acts to increase the penalties. Once we do so, we do hope that, again, the guidelines are followed. People are given the sentences that they deserve.
But to give a better perspective, to put it in a proper context, this is an interview that Nationwide had with the National Praedial Larceny Prevention Officer. That is a police portfolio in itself. That is headed by Superintendent Oral Pasco. And Superintendent Oral Pasco's job is to supervise the total praedial larceny, anti-praedial larceny program across the island. And this was what he said in 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. He said it in an interview with Nationwide News, and I'm sure the situation still persists. Listen.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force is bracing for an increase in praedial larceny as the country enters the Yuletide season. The police say praedial larceny industry is currently worth around $6 billion, with much of that money being pumped into local gangs. William Mitchell reports.
It is a major problem. Extortion is a main source of revenue for gangs. Imagine COVID persons are not moving around, businesses are closed or shuttered, so the revenue stream has cut. So they need sources of income. They go to farms and they have armed with high-powered weapons and they steal large amounts. Just imagine, someone can steal 50 animals from one person, and that's approximately $5 million in value.
Superintendent Pasco says often gangs sell these animals to fund their bloody escapades across the country, including facilitating a meat for guns trade with Haiti. 2 bodies believed to be goat farmers were found in Westmoreland on Monday. It's understood the 30 goats belonging to the farmers are still missing. And there was chaos on Marchpen Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday, where 3 people were shot after 30 stolen animals were recovered. A goat farmer was among those shot.
There are certain areas that are known where large stock of animals are reared, and when they go missing, there are coves where persons take these meats and they go away and they come back with guns. And that is why JSF is collecting 600-700 guns out of the street each year, and we don't manufacture weapons. So there's a direct link between criminality, gangsterism, and our high crime rate and praedial larceny.
The superintendent is urging farmers to report praedial larceny to the police. This, as the $6 billion tag attached to praedial larceny could be larger than believed.
He farms coconuts. He's losing $100,000 per week. That's one farmer in a valley that's have hundreds of farmers. And that's coconut, not to mention farm animals.
Superintendent Pasco is warning the public to be aware of the source of their meat to protect their health and security.
He said 50 animals can be valued at up to $5 million. And these krazmites, they go to the farms with high-powered weapons and steal large amounts of animals. And they can steal up to 50 animals valued at up to $5 million. They put them on boats, take them to Haiti, sell the meat, buy guns. He said that, let us recap, because I'm going to say something on it. 2 farmers were killed in Westmoreland, and they take the 30 goat. You take 2 human lives, 2 persons who are just trying to make out a living by goat farming, and you kill them and take all 30 goats and just forget. You're not looking food. This is just what you're doing to further your gangsterism. Human life doesn't matter. You're just a total parasite. Are his words, He said money being pumped into local gang, and that there's a direct link between criminality, gangsterism, high crime rate, and praedial larceny. He says again that approximately $6 billion with a B, dollars a year is lost to praedial thieves. And we can presume that most of this go to Haiti to buy guns, to further terrorize farmers and further terrorize the society at large. And just to give, let me just segue a bit. These farmers are very soft targets. They can target them till God comes, very little is going to happen. And guess what? As I'd said in previous videos, the Firearms Licensing Authority are not giving farmers firearms to protect themselves. But hold on, you think it couldn't get any worse? Listen to what this same Superintendent Oral Pasco have to say pertaining to this same incident in the St. Elizabeth Court where this krazmite judge gave that light sentence. Listen his response.
The courts are there. We have a very effective court system. The police would have done what they are supposed to do, but the police are limited to that side of it, the judgment. So we can't do anything from where we stand in terms of putting the facts before the court and expect, at least at the minimum, the sentencing guidelines to be followed. When you steal 8 goats, it is someone's livelihood. The pain and suffering, and we don't know the impact, but we can just imagine the impact on that farmer and the farmer family and the community to a greater extent.
Now, me can tell you plain. Anybody who's a crime fighter, who have the conscience of this nation at heart, never ever utter those words, even if it is written on paper and handed to him by the Governor General. How can the first words come out of your mouth be, do not take the law into your own hands? Sir, from your being in your job, you have had no effect on criminality. You should have on praedial larceny. You shouldn't even come up and talk the fact that you have been there and still so much billions of dollars a year is still being locked and every week and you can't catch nobody. And when you catch them, go get a tap on the wrist. Might as well you don't even bother catch them. And you are here talking about don't take law into your own hands. Which side are you on? Whose side are you on really? Brethren, you're just like the Governor General. You're just having a sinecure, just saying the words that you think your masters have to say, want you to say, and you just say them. You have no effect on crime. You should be removed from your job. Even if you don't want to say, string them up and chop them up when you catch them, you should at least be silent on the matter. At least be silent on the matter. But to see all this happening and go tell we say, don't take the law into your own hands, whose side are you really on? My mind tells me that you are getting part of the proceeds from this, the praedial larceny, and they are paying you off. That's why you can say this. Just like I think that this krazmite judge, Justice Diane Lawrence Pivot, is probably being paid off because she probably get money to just give him a slap on the wrist. It's extremely likely because I don't think this woman could have, in her right sense, and them could have a madwoman up on the bench. I know that under Jamaican constitution, there is nothing we can do about a judge once we put them up there. They should be free to make any rules, any laws, any decision they want to take, they can take within the guidelines, But once we see these red flags of this level of leniency, we must know that this judge is either mad or tainted. And there must be some clause, some way we can rid the country of such people who are carrying down the nation. Because now it seems that the head of the National Praedial Laws and Prevention Department is in the pockets of the criminals. The judge is in the pocket of the criminals, perhaps some of the other policemen, and God, he knows how far up the rabbit hole goes. And I think the FLA, the Firearms Licensing Authority, is probably getting some of this money. Because the last person they are giving gun licenses, no matter, if you can have a country that one set of people are being targeted and 6 billion with a B, billions, that's $6,000 million they are losing every single year. And you will refuse to arm the people who are providing food for this nation to keep this nation stable. You don't see that the superintendent, the head of the FLA, the judges, and everybody mix up in it. Where are we going from here as a nation? Guys, think about it and let me know what you think. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video.